I see the video game industry as a large, clockwork disk drive. Every week, just like clockwork, another game disc is ejected into the world. I guess I just want to see what makes it tick. Christmas! I said Christmas! That's better. Lights, presents, weird and wonderful stuff popping up in games. Official Nintendo magazine recently did a feature on this, and wow, was it huge. They listed games that over the last few decades had their fair share of the weird and wonderful. These included the Santa suit in LEGO Star Wars 2, Jingle the furniture delivering reindeer in Animal Crossing, and even Christmas-themed bonus-level Easter eggs in Donkey Kong Country 3. Furthermore, their 24-point article barely even began to scratch the surface of Nintendo's involvement with Christmas updates, never mind the wider world of video games. Suffice to say, there are a lot of Christmas features in games. And it's great, right? This once again shows how great and adaptable the media of gaming is. Games can perform their function aptly throughout the year, and then, BAM! A bit of Christmas cheer when the occasion calls for it. You may get Christmas films, books, TV programs, plays, and comics, but the episode of Bad Wolf of Doctor Who will never feature a Christmas tree. V for Vendetta will never have a panel featuring Santa's elves, and Citizen Kane will never show Charles Kane dying in a Santa hat. Hold on a second. What? Let us think this through. Would any of these Christmassy scenarios have improved those programs, comics, or films? Well, honestly, no. In attempting to produce games as a serious form of media, or even as an art form, is it right to have fun but ultimately unrelated and belittling Christmas content appear in games? Yes, okay, this is the bit where you can cry out Scrooge and booming off your screens. Got that out of your system? Good, because in fact my answer to that question isn't
No, all games should be serious and stick to their guns in defiance of Christmas at all costs. Blah blah blah. I hate Christmas. Blah blah. Humbug. Blah.
In fact, I believe that it is absolutely right to add some Christmas content in, as long as it is done in the right way. That sounds a bit vague, so I'll try to expand on it. The way that games should not go about incorporating Christmas is encapsulated in Global Agenda. If you haven't played this game, then you should. It's loads of fun and most importantly, free on Steam. However, for Christmas this year, they decided to add in snow and Christmas trees inside the dome. Not a big problem and adds a nice Christmas atmosphere to the place, you could say. Well, yes, but at the same time, Global Agenda has a plotline that is good and deep. The Dome is the last refuge for a band of mercenaries come freedom fighters against the ravaged world outside. Snow falling inside the Dome? That essentially means that holes have been blown in the roof of the Dome for Christmas. No longer is it a bomb-proof stronghold, but instead a desolated shell of what it should have been. Stranger still, all the mercenaries, the players, and vendors, NPCs, carry on as if nothing has happened. The snow means the end of their civilization as they know it, and yet they carry on deluding themselves as if everything is okay. Can you see what I mean? Badly placed Christmas decorations can introduce a whole nother level of weird into games that can mess up the story arc. In schools and colleges, works of literature and media are read into deeply every day. How is it going to be possible to do this for video games in the future if they lose all meaning at different points throughout the year? Should programmers and game designers stop putting Christmas into games then? Of course not. But they should at least put some thought into how Christmas is best inserted. Thankfully, there are several games that do get this right. The Sims, for example, has it spot on with its Christmas expansions. Then again, a life simulator isn't really a fair example. They can just add in the celebration of Christmas after all, with no sweat. However, games like Dragon Quest XI have managed to have free Christmas DLC that adds whole new quests to the game. These then contribute to the story as opposed to detract from it, and are meant to at that. Through the simple provision of the Merry Questmas questline, the Dragon Quest team managed to have Christmas in their game without any of the story being broken apart. More so, I can't wait for the future. As games continue to get a hang of the whole storytelling element of game design, it will be so awesome to see the actual Christmas story told through a game. After all, a story about mass genocide, spiritual warfare, and the birth of the Chosen One seems to me to be a pretty good set of ingredients for an interesting plot. For today though, I'll be happy with what I've got. This Christmas, I suppose I'll just have to appreciate those games which have put some thought into their Christmas add-ons, and then simply enjoy the rest. Hopefully in the future, we'll have a chance to defend Mary and Joseph on the road to Bethlehem with motion control and 3D graphics. But until then, we'll just have to enjoy the little bits of Christmas we can find in games, and the ton of Christmas happening in the real world. Merry Christmas all.